This has been Strictly Ball Business.
Strictly Ball Business.
Strictly Ball Business.
I like that video.
Shit.
All right, welcome back, Strictly Ball Business. We're going to talk about who's better, Chris Paul, who's just, if you just watched the last video, we talked about did he pass his prime, are we going to see him come down that hill, or Jrue Holiday, who just won a championship 2 years ago. I mean, he's still doing great. I mean, still averaged 18 points per game last season while playing for, did he make it all defensive first team this year?
Who did?
Jrue Holiday?
I think he did, yeah.
Well, regardless, every time he's one of the top, I'd say top 3 defensive guards for his whole career in the NBA. Maybe early years part of that.
I mean, he's the best defensive point guard in the league right now. No debate.
Yep. And he's seeing that and seeing what he can do offensively for this team. I mean, he won them a championship his first year there. Bucks, I'd say, are the favorites to win the East next year, assuming injuries are all gone. I mean, assuming there's no injuries. So, who do you think is better, Chris Paul coming in the next season or Jrue Holiday?
I think coming into this next season, Jrue Holiday is going to be the better player. Overall, I mean, he is the better defender. He's 5 years younger.
Yep.
I think, realistically, I see the Bucks having a comeback season. Last season, obviously still a great year in terms of where a lot of teams were, but they didn't make the championship, so therefore it was a disappointment. And I think he can help them get there. And I think if I'm building a championship team, I'd rather have Jrue Holiday right now.
I'm with that. Jrue Holiday, I do think he's a better player. But, I mean, a lot of people like these side-by-side comparisons. So let's do it. I mean, let's look at playmaking. Just the point guards, it's a huge point of it. You got to go with Chris Paul, one of the best playmakers of all time, period.
Yeah, I mean, he's only made his teammates better over the years.
Right. And, I mean, granted, Jrue Holiday is no slouch. Almost 7 assists a game. He's always been an awesome playmaker. But you look at it, too, like, Giannis does a lot of playmaking. Chris Middleton does a lot of playmaking. It's mainly Chris Paul on that team. However, we all know Chris Paul's a better playmaker. Defense, gotta say Jrue. Obviously, we're just comparing back-to-back, like, their best straight. Jrue Holiday, we talked about his defense, all-time best. But basketball IQ, I do side with Chris Paul on this side because he's one of the smartest basketball players I've ever watched play basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Like, in terms of his IQ, he can be just as smart as Chris Paul sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Well, so Chris Paul, I'd give him the IQ. However, self-offense, creating for yourself, the ability to score a bucket has to be Jrue Holiday now. I mean, you'd like to think we're past that point.
To just get an automatic bucket?
Where Chris Paul was that automatic. It was like with the Rockets.
I would argue I'd rather have Chris Paul get that automatic bucket. When he gets open in the mid-range, like, he knocks those down almost every time.
Yeah. I mean, like, his mid-range is there, but just this last series with the Mavs, it wasn't. So, best. There's the pump. It just wasn't there. So, I still like, as a scoring option, I would rather have Jrue than Chris Paul. Chris Paul's still 37. He's getting slower every year that we've seen. So, like, for his ability to get a bucket, all it is basically ISO plays where he has to outsmart his player. It's no longer all those quick.
But he always outsmarts his player.
Not every game against the Mavericks.
Yeah. You're right. He's, regular season, give me Chris Paul. In the playoffs, it might be Jrue Holiday.
Right. But, and then lastly, off ball. What they do off ball has to go to Jrue. I mean, off ball, obviously it has to be Jrue. Chris Paul spends the majority of his time on ball. He doesn't have a guy that takes the ball, as we just said. Giannis does a lot of the ball handling, and Jrue does a great job. Him and Chris Middleton, they have some great two-man games where him and Middleton or him and Giannis, where he has to knock down an open three. And just in the finals against the Suns, There was a 3. Oh my god! I think it left my head. That was not campaign.
Was that campaign? You gotta check out the replay on that.
Oh my god. Where was it? The finals. I mean, he got one of the most clutch defensive. This was one of the most clutch defensive shows games of all time that I've seen with Jrue Holiday, and how he closed out 2 games defensively, getting blocks, getting steals, and he did it. And then he made a 3 on the other end off Giannis. So I think off ball, I gotta have Jrue, and that's where I think that really seals the deal, where Jrue Holiday is going into this next season as the better player.
Check this out. Let's see here. Oh, it was campaign out of nowhere.
Through Mikel's arms.
Look at, it's Mikal Bridges going up. He's like, don't worry. I got this campaign. He's like, no, bro. I got you.
God. Was that you, or was that the
That's probably me. That's probably why that happened.
Oh, God. Oh,
That's hilarious.
that's big sad. Oh. Alright, thank you, JaVale. Bail me out. But that was a good discussion. I think, who do you guys think is better coming into the season of 2023? Is it Chris Paul or Jrue Holiday? Comment below. Let us know. Excuse me. Usually have time for the last topic. It's gonna be a nightmare to edit.
Yeah. Are you regretting this?
A little bit. The way it worked in my head was a lot better than the way.
Yeah.
But alright.
Alright guys, that was strictly ball business, and we loved hearing